Welcome back to another explainer. Look, today we're decoding something absolutely crucial. It's one of the most critical, yet honestly frequently misunderstood relationships that dictates your digital visibility. We're getting into the intricate dance between everyday customer feedback and Google's local search algorithms. Let's get right to it. Think about the last time someone left a review for your business. Are those words just, customer opinions? Or are they structured data points feeding a massive, highly intelligent search ecosystem? Spoiler alert, the search algorithm doesn't care about your feelings. To a machine, a customer's glowing opinion is just raw, harvestable material waiting to be processed. Okay, let's dive into this. We're basically going to be peeling the onion today, moving from surface-level ratings straight down into the algorithmic core. We'll start by looking beyond the star rating, move into trust and sentiment, talk about indexing, explore entity perception, expand into your overall digital footprint, and finally, peek into the future of reputation. So, part 1, beyond the star rating, translating emotion into data. To truly grasp this ecosystem, we've got to completely shift our perspective on what a review actually is. Those highly subjective, emotionally charged customer opinions you read online, they are instantly translated by search algorithms into objective math. Review signals are the structured and unstructured data points extracted from that user feedback. Think of it this way. When you read a review, you see a well-deserved pat on the back. When a search engine processes that exact same review, it extracts core content assets. It is looking for contextual evidence that validates your business's relevance. A review isn't just some isolated ranking factor, it's a foundational reputation indicator. To really wrap our heads around the sheer complexity of what natural language processing extracts from every single review, just look at these indicators. The system is simultaneously calculating volume, sentiment, keyword relevance, you name it. Take review frequency, for example. Why does frequency matter? Well, because a sudden, unexplained burst of 50 reviews in a single day, that looks like spam to an algorithm. But a steady, consistent stream of 2 reviews a week, that looks highly organic and trustworthy. Or take diversity. If every single review sounds completely identical, the system flags it. It's a massive, multi-layered extraction process happening in literal milliseconds. Moving into part 2. Trust, credibility, and sentiment. Evaluating public opinion at scale. You have to remember, search engines evaluate trust through a very distinct filtration process. Because, frankly, algorithms are terrified of being tricked. Step 1 is collecting independent feedback. Reviews act as external validation because they aren't coming from you. Step 2 is where the magic really happens. The algorithm compares those review patterns against established behavioral baselines. In an era of bots and fake reviews, systems absolutely must verify the human element before applying any ranking benefit. They have to filter out the noise. Finally, step 3 is establishing signal consistency. Real credibility isn't built on one viral review. It's built on consistent, verifiable signals over a long period of time. Now, what's really interesting about this is how sentiment analysis physically categorizes human emotion. The algorithm literally classifies the opinions inside reviews into positive expressions, neutral statements, and negative concerns. By clustering these expressions, search engines create a structured, measurable form of user satisfaction that directly impacts your ranking stability. If a distinct negative cluster forms around a specific attribute, say, suddenly you get dozens of reviews complaining about rude customer service, that creates a negative algorithmic anchor. Positive sentiment strengthens trust, sure, but negative clusters immediately signal quality concerns, and that pulls down your discoverability. But it gets so much deeper than just labeling things as good or bad. Natural language models identify precise semantic relationships. Imagine a review that says, "Great emergency plumbing service in downtown Chicago." That single sentence is gold. The phrase downtown Chicago establishes absolute geographic relevance, while emergency plumbing establishes undeniable semantic relevance. Those specific service descriptions are mapped directly to your business's entity attributes. Let me tell you, that specific wording is worth 10 times more to a search engine than a generic statement like, "5 stars, great job." Which brings us to part 3, indexing your online reputation, storing the data. Information that remains unindexed does not contribute to search evaluation. I want you to really let that sink in. It's a foundational law of the internet. It's kind of like that old philosophical question. If a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? In local search, if a customer writes a glowing, perfect review, but the search engine fails to index that text in its database, it makes absolutely no sound. All the hard work you put into generating that feedback, is completely wasted if the algorithm hasn't securely cached and indexed that text for ranking purposes. We can trace exactly how these stored data points impact the wider search ecosystem. When specific terminology from reviews is indexed, it naturally improves the semantic associations between your business and those topics. When the data becomes accessible, it builds out a much more robust entity profile. And crucially, when those reviews become searchable assets, they directly influence visibility. Like, if someone searches for best iced latte near me, a specific quote from one of your indexed reviews mentioning your amazing iced latte might literally show up bolded right underneath your Google Maps listing. Indexing transforms a customer's passing thought into a permanent, highly visible search asset. All right, section 4, authority and entity perception, building the profile. A coherent digital footprint means you have perfect alignment between your authority citations and positive sentiment, which drastically improves your credibility assessment. Now, flip that. Consider a fragmented footprint. What if your Google reviews praise your fantastic coffee, but your Yelp reviews are terrible, and your local directory listings have the wrong phone number entirely? That is severe fragmentation. And here is the so what. Search engines absolutely hate ambiguity. When they encounter contradictory information across the web, it creates algorithmic doubt. That doubt actively weakens your trust evaluation and directly harms your local discoverability. Building this entity perception is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint. Conceptually, time is one of the most critical factors these algorithms look at. You cannot simply buy or generate a massive batch of reviews in Q1 and expect to coast on that momentum all the way to Q4. It doesn't work like that. In the first quarter, initial reviews create early semantic associations. By Q2, a steady frequency of new reviews establishes healthy behavioral baselines. Moving into Q3, consistent sentiment generates powerful reputation signals. And by Q4, that continuous effort results in a highly solidified entity profile. Temporal trends demand constant, steady effort. Section 5. Expanding your digital footprint, the local ecosystem. So your digital footprint is the comprehensive collection of all online information associated with you across the entire web. Think of the local search algorithm as a detective. It doesn't just take your website's word for it that you're the best at what you do. It canvasses the neighborhood. It crosses the internet looking for corroborating witnesses, your reviews, your citations across different directories, your social references. The algorithm interprets a broad, cohesive digital presence as hard, undeniable evidence of an established and reliable reputation. This continuous user-generated content is just incredibly potent because it improves your semantic coverage effortlessly. Think about this for a second. When your customers write highly specific, keyword-rich reviews about the distinct services they received, they are quite literally doing high-value SEO work for your business. And they are doing it entirely for free. Reviews act as self-generating long-term reputation assets. They constantly feed the local search engine beast with the fresh, descriptive data it craves, which keeps your business highly relevant in the ecosystem. Finally, part 6, the future of reputation, data-driven strategies. Let's talk about how to apply this. Let's look ahead to 2026. The evolution of local algorithms is placing a massive emphasis on contextual understanding and predictive reputation analysis. So what does predictive analysis actually mean in practice? It means that rather than just penalizing you for a single bad review that happened yesterday, advanced machine learning models will start forecasting your business's downward trajectory based on subtle, early sentiment shifts, long before your overall star rating even drops. The systems are evaluating overarching behavioral patterns to predict reliability. So how do we actually turn this algorithm to our advantage? It comes down to a definitive 4-step data strategy. Step 1, you must optimize your review signals. This means actively training your staff to ask customers for highly specific feedback about the exact service they received, rather than just asking for a generic review. Step 2, establish trust and relevance by maintaining that consistent, keyword-rich sentiment. Step 3, use that consistency to build unquestionable entity prominence across your entire digital footprint. If you execute those 3 steps, step 4 is inevitable. You will completely dominate local search visibility in the map hack. I want to leave you with a final thought to really chew on as you evaluate your own online presence. As search systems shift aggressively toward predictive pattern analysis and machine learning, is your unstructured digital footprint actually ready for the algorithm? Or is ambiguity silently destroying your visibility? You absolutely cannot afford to leave your digital perception up to chance. Taking control of the narrative means transforming subjective customer feedback into a highly structured, data-driven reputation asset that search engines explicitly reward. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. If you're ready to take command of how the algorithm perceives you and eliminate that ambiguity for good, start building your data-driven strategy today by visiting www.clearmyname.org. Stay focused, and we'll catch you in the next one.